Well, hello! And guess what? I was a little premature in that transition. My timing was off just a few seconds.
Just a bit outside.
Yes, a little outside.
Just a bit outside.
Welcome, Wayward Gamers, to the Emporium. I am Jay, your GM of fun, also known as Neophyte3 in the socials, and we are back for episode 6. And we are playing some Pathfinder 2E with the Legends of the Natural Ones here at the Emporium for the Wayward.
Natural ones.
Natural
ones.
The natural.
Natural.
Natural one.
Natural.
Let us go around, introduce our spells, introduce ourselves, and we will
choose our spells.
Choose our spells. Jeff, how are you, and who are you playing for these wonderful audience that might be joining us? You are muted.
Muted.
Thank you very much, Jay. I appreciate that. I am Jeff. I'm quite well, and I am playing Aviro Starborn. He is our high elf wizard, who is fired up about breach of contract at the moment.
Breach your contract. I mean, of all the things for Aviro to get pissed off about, a breach of contract
in this moment
makes the most sense. You know,
that is so perfect.
Yep,
that is so perfect.
That is definitely. Thank you, Jeff. Jim, how are you doing, sir?
Good. I'm great. Happy to be here.
Sound happy to be here.
So I'm Jim Hawkmere1 on Twitter, and I'm playing Aviro. I'm not playing Aviro. Jesus Christ. I'm playing Glastoc Steelcloak.
Incredible.
I would love to see you play Aviro.
I would love to play. That's actually what we should be doing, since for those of you who don't know, we're pre-recording this and it's April Fool's Day, and that should have been what we were doing, is playing each other's characters. So
that'd have been brilliant.
You know, timey-wimey shit can always happen.
Okay.
That would be funny.
Playing Glastoc Steelcloak, yes. Go. Carrie.
I'm Carrie, and I'm gonna nail this. My name is Carrie. I play Brynn Broadriver. Right now, Brynn has maybe released a pandemic into the world. Who knows? But after quite the dressing down by our ship's captain, Brynn has pinky promised to never ever do anything bad again. And in the meantime, the sun is setting on our wonderful ship, Dusk to Dawn, and that's how it's done, fellas. That's how it's done.
That was excellent.
Such a pro.
Excellent.
Always such a pro.
Yes. And as we recap, thank you so much for joining us, everyone. And we are playing Pathfinder 2 Second Edition here. And two things before we jump in. We want to thank our affiliates, Talon and Claw and Smuggler's Coffee, for their wonderful friendship and affiliation with us. And go check them out, because when I talk about this, guess what? There's a whole bunch of stuff that's happening in the chat about where you can find them online. Check out their coffees. They have great different coffees, including I'm not sure if our Star Fuel blend is still available or not by the time of this recording, but check them out. Probably not. But we are hopefully doing some collaborations more in the future. And then our wonderful friends at Talon and Claw, making excellent Dice Vault and DM screens. Check them out, and if you go in and put in the QR or the code of Dragon Daddy, you will get 10% off of your purchase. Recap. We just left off as the group just went into, well, they found a smelly room that seemed to have decayed. Brynn broke in, found a woman, a afflicted by a disease.
Brynn gently lockpicked and found her way, and Brynn broke in is so heavy-handed. It's a yeah.
Possibly breaking a contract of stuff that
Yeah.
Aviro may or may not agree with. At which point, Glastoc came
Fucking
in
bullshit,
and
man.
healed her. And it's very evident that this disease was not possibly removed or suspended. She's still afflicted by some other things that are going on, but it's pretty much her life wasn't sure she was going to make it to Magnamar on their way out on the ship. But by Glastoc casting the spell, she is now surviving, and they will be able to treat her and put Leto in a very interesting situation. And we left off just finishing the conversation of please come to him without going into other guest rooms or other areas of like, don't go into anything unless you let him know first, because he has knowledge that you might not, since he is the captain of his ship. And we pick up as the afternoon kind of goes. If I recall, Brynn, you were at night. So who had the night shift that last night? It was Brynn and
Glastoc. So this is now the 5th.
This was
all
the
happened on the 5th
morning
day,
of
and
the
we're now
5th.
at the 5th.
Morning of the
Jeff
5th.
made a
So-
calendar.
So tonight will be Glastoc has first watch and Brynn has second.
Actually,
watch.
let me take that back. We are still on day 4 afternoon. We're coming up to dinner. So I run up. So we are actually at dinner time.
I don't think that's accurate, Jay. According to my rotation chart, I don't think that's accurate. I think we are now on the 5th day.
That sounds right. It was the 4th day.
It- yeah,
the
it was
fourth
the 4th day
was
previously.
the one where I saw the prince go through.
Yeah. Yeah, we are now on the 5th day.
That's right. It is the 5th. Okay, yes, it is the 5th day. It's lunchtime for the 5th day, or dinner time. Excuse me. It's dinner time for the 5th day.
And of course, Jeff has a chart.
Yes.
Jeff
you.
has diagrams.
Thank you,
Aviro
Jeff.
has a chart.
Thank you, Jeff, for that information. So the afternoon is kind of uneventful. Dinner time comes, and everyone has been asked to attend dinner. And everyone comes up to dinner. The first mate is there, the cook is there, Leto is there. And before dinner is actually started, some of you may have grabbed some food, but when Leto first comes in, he addresses the room. He's like, welcome, guests. Welcome. Thank you for joining us up here. I have an announcement that I need and very important to share with everyone that I know there's some unusual activities that are going on, but I feel the need to ensure that some knowledge and information that is going on. And you do see Felina, who's the bride, kind of not as put together. You know, she's it looks like she's been crying. She seems to be just not eating as much, but kind of sitting by herself a little bit. The alchemist and her daughter is in a corner. The madam is there. The gentleman vampire is there as well, and just kind of intrigued. I've spoken to all of you individually as well, so I was able to get some information. But the important thing to know is we are having some unusual activity on the ship, and for safety concerns, we are asking that everyone stays in the room during the day and evening time, not to wander on ship or on board or anything like that. I hate to use the word confined to quarters or rooms, because we will escort you to dinner and all the breakfasts that you would like, but we want to ensure your safety. Our wonderful crew of our security are here to prevent any borders and to make sure that your security is top priority. With that being said, and Felina she kind of gets that sniffling, like crying, like it's very obvious. She's been given the bad news that they can't find her husband. And Leto's like, we do have a guest missing since the attack of the Sea Devils. We are concerned that there's something else is going on ship, but I'm confident that we're doing an investigation, but we ask that everyone keeps in their ears to make sure that everything is settled. And my condolences. We're still investigating this, and we have 4 more days, and with your cooperation, I believe that we'll be able to make those 4 days smooth sailing. Yes, Bryn.
No, this
Okay.
is Carrie.
Carrie.
Sorry. I would like to make a perception check on vampire dude while he's talking about the can I do
do.
that?
Please do.
That's a 29.
He's stoic.
What are you thinking?
He's like, oh, he's kind of just in this interesting. And he kind of looks over at you like they're gonna make sure that everything is safe. But yeah, he's not. He's just like, no, cool.
Not
There's
phased at
no
all.
like body language like
No.
when they mention him going missing. He's like,
Nope, nothing
Okay,
like
good.
that. So
Pavlovian starts to drool a little bit.
yeah, right. Okay.
yeah, nothing. It's
Good to know.
it's almost as if the knowledge of that has just come to him. Like, oh,
Okay. Good. Either this motherfucker is sneaky and like or maybe he's just honest. Okay. Good to know. Noted. Mental note. Continue.
So as that dinner it's a very good dinner, and Lita will actually escort Felina back to her room and comfort her in conversations. He does give you the three of you look like needs to have a word with you. He kind of says, after dinner, I need to speak with you. And meet me in my room, my cabin for conversation. And he kind of goes down and escorts, and the alchemist female seems concerned, and Boo seems slightly concerned, a little off, and she's kind of more protective of Boo and kind of moving her to her room. They're going back to their room. The gentleman is like, they will and has a conversation with the madam as they're leaving, and they kind of walk down to the rooms. He's like, I guess I will be staying here. But enjoy. If there's anything, please let me know, madam, if I can be of assistance. And she's like, oh yes, I'm well protected in my room. No worries. I feel confident that nothing will happen to me in my room. And they give her, and she goes into her room, and he actually goes into his room. So
I'm a little surprised by that. That seemed very sexually tensiony. So yeah, we stay again. Bryn is kind of like in a like hypersensitive mood. She feels like she might be in trouble again or something. She since the incident with the door, she hasn't broken in anywhere else, so she's not really sure, but she's also not very confident.
Okay.
Aviro leans into Glastoc and Brynn. I don't trust Lido.
I don't trust him either, but he is my friend.
Alley-oop.
And audience members, thank you for joining us. The one thing I did forget to mention at the beginning of the episode is content warning. Content triggers. We are diving a little bit into the horror. We're diving a little bit into the gore. Horror. We are diving a little bit more into the borderlines of I don't want to say torture or anything like that, but just some things coming up might be triggering, and if it is, that's okay. If you need to leave, please come back when you feel comfortable. If this is something you're acceptable, please continue watching. But I want to be able to make sure that everyone is aware that there is going to be some potential content triggers in the next few hours of our episode. And with that, we move on to the scene as Lido is eventually back into his room, and after a while, when you get comfortable, you ask to meet him in his room, in the captain's cabin.
We do.
Okay. So knock on the door, opens. Welcome. Yes. And he's his joyous self. There's still a little bit of like, stress, but he's like, he handles it quite well. He's like, yes, come in, friend. My friends, please sit down. And he goes and shuts the door. And he's like, so, I had a conversation with all the guests. Again, let me first off, the the druid in the guest room G. She is doing better. I have no doubt that she was going to survive the journey to Magnamar, where she will get treated for the affliction and curse, disease, whatever it is that is ailing her. She will get the proper treatment. So I do thank you for ensuring that her life has been saved or based off of your magic. As for the jacket, she says, what I was able to understand is that it is hers. Her jacket. Where, and since you have it, I will request that the jacket be returned to her when it is time appropriate. So, but she says it was given to her from a friend.
And Brynn is kind of putting together like the time, presumably, that has passed. And it's like it very well could have been found by a person and then given away or sold or given away many times.
It's been a month since the attack, the battle with the alchemist. And, and it's been about a month since you thought and saw that jacket face down in the mud.
Okay. Was there a druid involved in that fight?
Yeah, that's what you realize, that the druid was face down in the mud with the long hair and the jacket. And then you realize that when you went back into the past, that was Talico's jacket because he got the burn mark in the house. And you dawned on you that that's the thought that whoever was wearing that jacket at the alchemist before the alchemist fight was dead because their soul got sucked into the box. And then it's been a month since your return to that time.
In a different universe.
In a different universe, but the same things happened.
Mostly.
So the druids, there was a druid that
timey-wimey shit happens.
Yeah, timey-wimey. A druid did betray the coven, but there are several other druids that were on that
island. So yeah, Brynn still has the jacket. It's in her cabin, and she would say next time.
Excellent. I yeah, since you didn't mention Talico's name, he just knows that, you know, that if also, you should know, like I said, I spoke to all the guests, including the gentleman. He has assured me that he has not broken any contract. He has not killed anyone, and he has not killed any guests or attacked any guests on the ship, including yourself.
That does not make me feel better.
He did preference that he did kill some sea devils in the fight. And that is the only thing that he killed.
Good for him.
Like yourselves, protecting everything. He has, just requested that you continue to do your due diligence of securities, and he hopes that his space is secured as general. But yeah, he is not, according to the contracts and the that we have as guests, the rules that we have in place upon this, I did mention the blood, and he did mention that he smelled it, but he was unaware that it was there until he woke, that he presented himself in the cargo, when he went into the cargo, that it was there when he first went in that night, because you mentioned he was in the cargo. He mentioned that he did smell it when he walked in there that night, but it was there before he went in.
But then why didn't he report it to you?
Well, he reported it to me now. He was sleeping because it was the morning.
No. If he had, if you know, he's above board, and he could sense fresh blood.
Well, it wasn't necessarily relatively fresh, yes.
Well, it would have been more fresh when he found it than when I did.
Yes. Well, you were.
Because I didn't go in for several hours after him.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So
Hmm. Yeah, so it was
Not
a little
his
bit fresher.
job.
It was a little bit fresher.
okay.
But
So why not say something? Why keep quiet about it?
why does a? It's not in his nature. It's beneath him, I guess.
To be fair, it really isn't his job to report anything via the security team. He reported it.
But he did notice that
Right.
it was there before he went down in there.
Okay, but that's my point. Is if you're on a ship where there is a general agreement that nobody is going to do anything to anybody
agreement.
else,
Mhm.
and now this is before we necessarily knew that the guy was missing.
Very true. Very true.
Okay, but if like
I see your point, Glastoff. I very much see your point, but you have to understand some of our guests, this is beneath them, that they don't feel like it's a trouble. If a billionaire dropped a gold piece, would he stop to pick it up? Is it worth its time if he has millions of gold pieces? No, he wouldn't. He'd just keep
the
walking.
ones that I know would.
Well, some don't, and this particular gentleman would not. So I can see why he didn't report it. It's not in his nature
So
because
if he sees a murder happening, he's just going to ignore it.
Hmm.
That's what you're saying.
Potentially, yes, because it doesn't involve him.
Okay.
That's the only explanation that I can so get kind of explain. But I trust that he hasn't violated any agreement or any of the rules. So until we have concrete evidence that he does, there's nothing I can do at this moment.
Okay.
So, um, anyways, as we move forward, thank you so much. Keep your due diligence, and we appreciate everything that you've done. Thank you. Is
And
there anything else?
sorry,
Wonderful.
I think he promised to not break into any more rooms today.
I appreciate
I guess
that.
I'll just occupy myself on deck, and Brynn would kind of smile, and she would leave the room.
Okay.
Day to day.
So that after dinner, like I said, it's
Oh,
an
it's
evening.
I forgot.
Yep, it's that evening of things, and
Brynn would probably head to bed if it's evening
Yeah.
because she's
Yep.
got second
I
shift.
got the
you
second.
got second shift. Okay. Who's got first shift? Glastoc?
Glastoc.
Okay.
I do.
So then, Aviro, you're going to bed. Is there anything else you're going to do before the evening rotations and jobs? Anything that you want to look into, talk about, or anything like that?
Mm-mm.
No,
Okay.
don't trust this guy.
Mm-mm.
Trust Lido?
Nope.
You're
Well,
very smart to
I-
not trust Leo.
I've never trusted Leto, but
Yeah.
the vampire.
Mm-hmm. So as the evening kind of comes, Vero, you're going to bed. Glastock, you're up, and then you're going to switch your shifts, and then Brynn, you're going to take over. I need a perception check from Glastock and from Brynn, please.
21.
21.
15.
All right. The evening goes without issue. The sun's coming up in the morning. Things are good. Like I said, there's no it's a quiet night.
About time we have a freaking quiet night.
Everything
I don't
goes
know.
fine. The morning the crew Brynn, the morning the crew comes up at the appropriate time right before day, like at daybreak. Yeah. And as the morning comes up, shifts go in, Avero, you wake up for breakfast, and it's that normal process of breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And Brynn, you're sleeping in. Glastock, you sleep in slightly, so you miss breakfast. Brynn, you're missing breakfast and lunch. Avero, as you're sitting there, everyone is there for like I said, the madam and um the only people that are up there for breakfast is Boo and the alchemist. Then lunch, the madam does come up. So Aviro and the madam are there for lunch.
Are they? Are they?
Better hurry up and eat.
She comes up to you and sits down. She just prompts and comes up and sits down next to you. Mr. Aviro, it is so
I'm
good to
sorry
see you.
that seat's taken.
Did I sit on an invisible body? Doesn't feel like it. And she kind of pumps up a little bit. Just like,
oh God.
It kind of wiggles. It's like, oh, Mr.
He
Aviro.
He pays attention to his food.
And she
His
puts
his mage hand is operating his fork as he reads.
Furiously as
And
possible.
Yeah.
takes out a book and sets it down on the table. And
The
Vero,
fork just hovers.
as you look over, grimoire of Alistair's magic tome, magic insight.
Fork slowly goes to his mouth.
This is an
And back down.
artifact of library. This is one of 2 copies ever known of. And the
And
2
I know that.
And you know that. You know of 2 copies. Both of them are in locked, sealed tombs. And there is a rumor that there is a third. You've always heard a rumor of a third, and she just placed it on the table.
Where did you get that?
Oh, it's in my private collection. Are you interested in magic?
Just reeling him in.
Perhaps.
Do you? I understand you study magic, and you're very versed in libraries and knowledge of magic. Did you study in an
Perhaps.
academy?
Perhaps.
Which academy was that?
He tells her. Because Jeff the player doesn't know. I don't. Whatever the one is in Absalom. I think it's called.
Absalom.
She's like, oh, is Professor Gombaboy still there?
Of course, that he'll never pass away. He's infused himself with life renewing energy. Were you not aware?
I'm the one that told him about it. Our dating sessions our dates were so lovely in the garden. And you realize that he's 600 years old.
Yeah. Huh. He just keeps eating. He doesn't say anything.
I'm wondering, would you?
Eyes are huge though. Saucers.
And she just kind of pulls the book back a little bit.
Mhm.
If maybe at dinner time, if you're up for more conversations, I'd love to chat more with you.
About what?
Oh, magic and anything. I'm always intrigued about magic and she kind of leans in close. And individuals who know magic.
So he will look at her, but not in her eyes. He will look at her, but not in her eyes.
Mhm.
And he will
Right
look
here.
like he'll look at her ear.
Yep.
And he will say, "Madam, your lure has intrigued me. However, I require a guarantee from you should we continue upon this path in which you have set forth upon our 2 persons."
Oh, do share. I'm intrigued.
I know what you are.
I know what you are too.
Oh my god.
You're an elf.
I know what you truly are under this glamour. And if you promise, if you agree to be bound by contract to neither harm me in any way,
She's not gonna hurt you, baby.
I will consent to conversation only.
My dear boy, I will not hurt you based off of the rules that are set on the ship.
Not those rules, my own rules. And he whips out a contract in duplicate.
Interesting. You are thorough. This is so true. Do you mind if I read this?
Of course, I would expect nothing less. What point's a
Oh.
contract if you don't read it and know what's
She
inside?
reads it sexily.
And she's kind of reading over it, going, I would only ask one amendment, if that
That is?
conversation. But if you decide to consensually more of any physical touch, that
Madam, there will
you
be no physical touch. It is that is non-negotiable.
your loss. Okay. And she produces a pen and she's like, oh, your loss, definitely. And
Disagree entirely, madam. I disagree
Shame.
entirely.
and she's like, I look forward to
Maintaining my soul is much more important.
Oh, I don't want your soul. No, not at all.
She wants something else. Yes.
And she finishes and kind of goes off to her thing.
I shall see you at dinner, madam.
Lovely.
Good day.
Good day.
He rolls it up. What's in his face?
Incredible.
Evening.
Amazing.
I love it so much. It's so much.
Only Jeff's character gets to, get involved in these things.
Yeah,
You
right.
had a date too. It just didn't turn out to be with the person that you thought it was with.
And this is exactly the person you know who it is. It's just yeah. Oh my god. So the day kind of goes. Yes. So
Aviro will take an afternoon nap since he's on second shift.
okay.
He'll probably take an afternoon nap.
Unless there's something specific like you want to do during the day before dinner time, it's uneventful. Like I said, everything's working, things of that nature. It's smooth sailing. The weather is cooperating for the most part.
I have first shift, so I will take my shift.
Okay. So dinner comes.
Yeah.
So we're at dinner time. Everyone comes up. They're kind of, not escorted, but there's definitely, individuals that you go up, the time for dinner, and people sit down, and there's still some uncomfortabilities that are happening, especially with Boo and Bell, the alchemist. The madam is all intrigued, and she eats her dinner and has a conversation with the gentleman vampire, and he's just sitting there having his drink and all that good stuff. And the person that doesn't come to dinner is actually Belrama, the bride, does come up, grab a little bit, and she's physically exhausted, and you have been hearing crying coming from her room. She's definitely devastated over the news that her new husband is missing and not on anywhere on the ship. So she did skip lunch, but she's, like I said, she comes up for dinner. She kind of eats very, very little and kind of goes back to her room. Dinner goes without, like I said, conversations there. Aviro, madam would love to have a conversation about magic items, art schools, where you've been. And she shares like and what you get out of it, she is a treasure seeker. She seeks magic items, and she sells magic items, and she has a variety of networks and owns several. And that's one of the reasons why she's going to Magnamar, is to sell some particular magic items that she's acquired, buyers that she's meeting with. But she has a very extensive. She's been around for a while, that she knows different things, and talks about individuals that in the world and things of that nature. And she does mention that she recently lost her sisters. So
Aviro gives his condolences.
The last few years, like a year or two ago, she lost her sisters. So she's been saddened by that, but she's renewed to be able to start anew. So conversations like this helps her, enjoy the passing of the time.
Well, he is he is clearly interested in everything that she has to say, but he is also very clearly pretending to be not interested,
Yeah.
and he thinks he's giving an air of humoring her where it's very obvious that he is.
I'm gonna assume that Bryn sees this, and I think I probably know Aviro well enough to just know that this is exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not gonna make a roll. I just
Very
know.
clear. Very
Like,
Yeah.
clear.
Oh,
And
I'm pretty sure
she's just
she knows
having
it
fun.
too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And
She
she's just
clearly
having
knows it too.
fun. I mean,
Yeah.
she's just enjoying the conversations. So
Yeah. Aviro has a deception of 0.
Anything else? Because so Bryn, you have first watch. Who has second watch in the morning?
Aviro has second watch.
Aviro watch. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Glastoc. Anything from Glastoc for dinner or anything like that?
No,
Okay.
I mean, he's trying to be as respectful as possible to what Lito's requested of the group, knowing full well if anybody's going to go against it, it's going to be Bryn. So he's trying to pre-plan and mitigate any potential damages that will come out because of this.
But yeah. Okay. So the dinner happens. Everyone goes back to their room, and like I said, it's starting to get into it's uncomfortable, but it's kind of a comfortable thing because like I said, we're on day 6, so things are like you've got 3 more days before you get to port. So just a few more days, and this will be over. It's kind of the sentiment that's kind of hitting everyone in a way. The gentleman vampire is not phased. He's just like, it is. He's like he's not concerned, but like I said, there's been nothing that's changed in him the entire time. The madam feels a little bit more comfortable having these conversations. That's kind of seems like it's getting her through.
Mm-hmm.
Boo and
Can
Bell, the alchemist, are quite worried. But yeah, go ahead,
Mhm.
Bryn.
Can I when I go to wake Aviro up, unless something happens during my shift, but I have something for when I wake Aviro up.
Okay. I will need perception checks from Bryn and Aviro, please, as their night shifts on deck.
15.
15.
Also 15.
Okay. Bryn, nothing happens during your shift at all. So yeah, you go down to wake Aviro.
I want to sneak into Aviro's room and scare him.
Give me a
Just because.
stealth check.
30-20.
I want to say this is against Avero's perception.
Perception.
Yep. So Aviro, give me a perception, but I would like it. The DC is going to be slightly different because she's going to have a little bit of bonus.
Okay, well, I rolled a 28.
Oh, well, yeah, he knows she's coming.
I was going to +5 to that because of of how you. But Aviro is on edge.
Well, isn't there something about that blanket thing that you have?
I don't
where
think
it affects something about your.
Yeah, it says.
I think it gives you a +1.
While sleeping in this cloak, you only take a -2 status penalty to auditory perception checks rather than the normal -4.
Yeah. So that's it. That's why you were able to,
So 26.
Yeah. So 26, which is still enough of the higher. So just as you're about to,
Bryn reaches down. Bryn reaches down to shake him, and he reaches out and grabs her hand. Yes, Bryn, may I help you?
Good for you. And she would kind of be surprised at getting caught, and she'd be like, "It's time for your shift."
All right, thank you. As he's like blearily rubbing his eyes, and he shuffles out the door. Did anything happen?
No, not a thing. All quiet on the Western Front. And she would just.
What about the Eastern? What about the?
Everything's fine, Aviro. Nothing happened.
All right.
And she would be kind of just chuckling on the way out.
Yeah. So, Aviro, Bryn goes to sleep. Aviro, you're on
he's
board,
doing his rounds,
and you're doing your rounds and things of that nature. Watching the ship.
He yawns.
Yep.
He yawns a lot.
Yeah. Nothing of note, and daybreak starts, and Um,
Okay.
then you notice something.
And then I noticed something. Oh boy.
The day crew isn't up yet.
Oh. I go to who is in charge of the night shift?
Right now, the first mate, he's up there and he's like,
Okay, so I go report that to the.
he's like, they're not up. Go downstairs to the hall and go wake this silly asses up and get them up here.
You want
Yes,
me?
go down and get them.
That'll go over well.
Oh, all right. Is there not anyone else who perhaps is
Would
more
you
qualified?
kindly please go down to the hall where they are and see where they are?
All right.
What's taking them so long? They should be up here by now. And you know that it's this lower deck
Mhm.
that you're going down. So you go down to where your deck, and then you kind of go further down, and as you go in, there's, like I said, there are hammocks left and right through this entire 4 and 5 area.
Mhm.
And as you're going down and you go into the room, the hammocks are there, and you see all the crew members just lying in bed.
So Aviro casts a cantrip called Bullhorn,
Oh God.
which you amplify your voice loud enough for you to be heard easily at a great distance.
Oh Jesus.
And he rise and shine, all of you on day crew.
And suddenly this whoa goes blistering. Everyone on ship can hear this.
And then he casts light.
Okay.
I imagine in Bryn's cabin, she like falls out of her
you fall out of bed, and there's all this
payback for me trying to scare Aviro.
I don't cast light. I can't cast light.
Okay.
That's both of those are 2 action.
Okay. So
I can't do those at the same time.
As you cast this big thing, none of them move.
Uh-oh.
I say, and I mage hand shake one of them.
Give me a perception check, please.
Oh no. Oh no.
13.
It's not moving. You move it, it's shaking, and it's not.
Are they wrapped in any kind of blankets?
Some have blankets, some don't. Give me a medicine check.
They all got the pox.
26.
No, they're undead.
As you look down,
wow,
and you've been talking that some of them are
Sorry.
undead and some of them are dead.
They're undead.
What you notice is that the glamour that's on them seems to be fluctuating a little bit. And that, like, one of the heads is like slightly turned off, and you notice that the neck is cracked. And then you notice on another one, there's a dagger mark through its head. And then the one next to it,
oh great,
there is a dagger. There's like a pierce weapon that went through its neck. And then later on, one of them's their chest has been caved in by, or there's a hole from something. Every day crew member seems to have been killed in a different
Aviro runs.
How many? Oh, I'm sorry.
Aviro runs out to Lito's cabin.
All
and bangs on the door.
18 crew members have been killed differently. And you run to Alito's?
Yep, to Alito's cabin.
And you bang on the door, and Lito, yes, he's coming. He's like,
no, he doesn't stop until the door opens.
Yes.
His own fists and mage hands. So there's like 4 hands.
Yes. And as Lito opens up the door, and he's kind of putting some. Aviro, what is it? What is it?
All of J. Crew is dead.
All of Silk Road.
All 18 are dead, and they've been killed in a completely different way. Every single one of them. There's 18 different methods of murder in the hold right now, and I don't know what else to do. And I was told to come to you first because you stipulated that anything that happens, we should come to you first. And so I'm coming to you first as stipulated by our agreement, therefore not violating any point of contract.
Get your friends. And he runs downstairs to the...
So run to Bryn's room is first. So
Now,
He
I would
wakes up Bryn
assume
first.
Yeah, no,
because of
Glastoc, yeah.
the hideous noise that
Oh,
he
you're
set
up. You're up.
Yeah, we're already up. Okay. Yeah. Glastoc's probably already trying to pull on his armor, trying to figure
Yep.
out what the hell's going on. So
Mhm.
Yeah. As
So I
soon
get
as
both of them.
You are exhausted, but yeah.
what the hell is going on? What was
All of
that
Day Crew is
noise?
dead. All of Day Crew is dead. They've all been killed in a completely
Oh.
different manner. One was with sliced down the head. One had a neck, a
And you're in
dagger
the
in the neck. One's
hallway.
neck was, yeah, talking very loudly, I'm
Yes.
sure.
Aviro.
so
And
everybody
I
can
put
hear
my-
it.
I put both my hands on his chest.
What?
Yes.
What about them?
You're gonna freak them out if you're telling me there's like 18 murders on the board.
What the fuck do you want?
And I would put my hand over Viro's mouth and be like,
Well,
calm down.
are they really murder if they were already dead?
Yes, that's twice.
Semantics.
They're re-murdered. But we should go check it out. We should go check it out. And I look back at Aviro. And I take my hand away.
You can see Avero's doing everything he can to not fly off the handle.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. As you go down
really
into the where the cabin, Leto is down there checking, and based off of the medical rolls, the information. I'm not going to have you roll again. It's very clear that something dispatched the entire day crew with piercing weapons, a blunt weapon, and they're surgical. Like someone killed each one in a different manner. And they didn't expire because of the glamour and stuff like that. They're like normal humans in that way, so they don't turn to dust. But it is very, very clear. Like the undead zombies, their heads are like there's slits around the head, and it's just basically, yeah. It is, each of them have been systematically and surgically destroyed, killed in a different manner.
Avero's panicked.
I make a perception check to see
Yeah.
if I think that this was just one person or multiple people.
Yes, please do. And everyone give me a perception check as well.
29.
29.
Nice. 25.
25.
Also 25.
Damn.
Yes.
Look at us.
It
Look at us.
appears that there is only one person or thing that did this.
But used multiple weapons.
Multiple
Just to
things
toy with us.
and different around.
Uh,
And then, yes,
okay.
Vero?
Aviro wants to check with whoever has taken over the quartermaster's duties to see if weapons are missing from the ship's armory or whatever.
And you're going to find out when you go down. No, it's been locked. There's nothing missing out of that door area. But the one thing that you find in there is you find no blood. You find
God.
they're sleeping, so whatever did this was quiet, but it's very specific on something went through and systematically, and it was almost as pleasure and or a reason that it was going through, and you realize that all these were killed for a purpose, and it wasn't a good purpose. It was for entertainment. It was for something else. And it was for
Have
something
a psychopath on board. Great.
It was very evident that this has happened. And as you're looking and come back and you're talking to Leto, the door to the western shuts. And that is where we're going to end or we're going to take a quick pause. We're going to take a break and come back.
Oh my god. Oh no.
Ooh.
Awesome.
Everyone,
No.
yes, we are going to take a quick break. We are going to come back and find out, was the killer there or not? Thank you, everyone. Stay tuned.
Wow.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back. We are back from a long extended break, and you might be going, wait a minute. Their clothes changed. Yes, they did. We're moving on. Anyways.
This is a week later in real life time.
Thank you, everyone.
It's still at before 7 o'clock in the morning my time. So
yes. We are pre-recording for those that don't, but you know what? We're live, and we're having fun. We just left off as
We're literally not live, Jay. We're literally pre-recorded.
Shush.
We're not live.
Sorry.
God bless.
Shush.
Shush.
So
We're live right now.
So for the
Live in the moment. Sorry.
So for the individuals, that's what that was. Okay. For those that are just joining us, we're picking up as the secrets have been found. The crew have been killed. The skeletal, unusual undead or whatever they are crew of Leto's Dusk Till Dawn ship have been found slaughtered meticulously in very, very different ways. So someone went sneakily and killed all the crew in this morning of discovery. And just as the group was talking about it with Leto, the door shut to the east. What would you like to do?
I would immediately run to that door. Like, I assume it's probably somebody who's like gone invisible and is trying to get away.
Okay. So you're charging for the door. You're running for the door.
Yep.
How much movement do you have, Brynn?
25 feet, it says, is my normal speed.
Way less than Aviro.
Way less. So
Aviro is very quick.
So
very quick, y'all.
Brynn is running for the door. We're gonna kind of do instead of like initiative order, we're gonna do kind of general ideas. So it's gonna take a round to get you, or one action, one movement, or stride, swift to get to the door, an action to open the door, and then I'm assuming you're gonna do that 25 movement to run up the door.
Yeah.
Up the stairs and stuff like that.
I'm assuming that I'm chasing somebody.
Okay.
So yeah, I would be all out.
Perfect. What is Glastoc doing?
So Glastoc will obviously ready his axe and shield.
Mm-hmm.
Is there? Yeah, I don't have any.
Do I get 25 feet, Jay, after I get through the door?
Yes, you do. So
I
you would
can
get 5, 10,
here?
15, 20, 25. Actually, right at the top. You're right at the top of the stairs because you're going to be coming in from this area, and it's going to take you about 25 feet of movement to get to the top.
Stairs.
To get up the stairs. Mm-hmm.
Got it. Perfect.
So yeah, Glastoc, and then Avero. What? Glastoc, what do you ready your shield? That's an action. Things of that nature.
Right.
What's your general? Are you just gonna kind of stay and look in here?
Yeah. I want to look for like I'm on the same wavelength of like Carrie or Brynn, that there could be something invisible or something that we can't see because it's not real well lit down here, correct?
Correct. I mean,
Okay.
it's visible, but I mean, there's some light is kind of coming in, but yeah, it's not.
Okay. Yeah,
Unlike the cargo hold, which is dark, there are no windows in the cargo hold.
Right. Well, no, that's not true. You said there were portholes in the cargo hold.
Oh, that's right. There are portholes, but those are
found blood up there. I want to do an actual because I can see better in the dark than I think everybody else. I want to do an actual like I want to make sure that there's nothing going on down here.
Okay, there's no other presence or anything like that.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will need a perception check from you in a moment. You can roll it previously, but then I want to hear, what is Aviro doing as suddenly this door shuts, Brynn rushes, and Lito's just kind of looking around, and Glastoc is then searching, taking some time and searching methodically this room. What is Aviro going to do?
So Aviro squeaks.
That is a free action.
Thank you. And then he says, Glastoc, what's going on?
Well, something just closed the door, and Brynn obviously thinks it's running upstairs. I just want to make sure it's not in here with us.
What should I do?
Do you have any way of is there a spell that you have to tell if there's some sort of presence in this room?
No.
Then stay hidden.
What use are you?
Then what use am I? That's a great
Protect
question.
yourself.
Protect myself. Right. Well, mage armor is already up, so Aviro will you will move. Let's see. Oh, that's up there. Never mind. He'll just kind of hide behind this.
What's
map.
Leto doing?
Leto is looking around, and he's looking at you at first, and then he's going to run to the door.
Okay, so he's taking off for the door.
Yeah, he's going to take off for the door, just to kind of find out what's going on.
Okay,
but he's looking around for a moment.
Yeah,
Aviro will cower behind the center mast in this room and keep an eye out for any movement.
Okay. All right.
FYI, Jay, my perception roll was a 24.
Okay. And it's going to take you probably a good 10 minutes to kind of search this room. What's going to happen upstairs may change that or add to it.
For those of you who don't know, that's Jay's way of saying I screwed up and Bryn's on her own.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Oh, the joys of a GM playing torment with his players.
God.
This is a stupid question, Jay. How big are the portholes?
They're probably
okay. Let me rephrase that. Are they big enough if need be, Glastoc could squeeze through one?
I would say no.
Shut up, Jeff.
Just by the
portholes are like this big.
Okay, I'm just checking.
By the girth of
yeah, no, that's well, I mean, there's portholes, and then there's
you would need a porthole.
escape hatches.
Portly hole.
Nice. I would say a small creature would be able to squeeze through, but a medium creature, like an elf, like a thin, something that's been described as very, very thin with no armor, might be able to squeeze through. But
that would be him.
But generally,
he's above me.
Generally, it's not something that
Okay. No,
a contortionist would be able to get through it. A medium-sized contortionist.
Yeah, it's an actual porthole as opposed to.
I mean, it's. So,
short answer, no.
Well, I didn't know because if the ship had guns, like the gunner doors are
yes,
bigger,
the gunner. So this ship doesn't have guns, even though
Yeah.
the ship may have design look that there's guns on them. There's technically no guns on this particular ship.
Okay.
All right. So, as you're searching, Aviro, you're kind of looking around, cowering, and watching Glastoc's back. Brynn, nimble Brynn, opens the door, runs upstairs. I need a perception check, please.
Awesome. Can do. Perception is a dirty 20.
Okay. Let's.
Why did you sigh like that?
Because I'm debating if how roll 20 is going to treat me. Okay. Where do you go next? Brynn?
I kind of stop at the top of the steps, I would imagine, and I'm looking around and listening for any signs of somebody running.
And you don't hear anybody running.
Is there somebody in the hallway here?
So actually, no. I'm gonna say that no one's in the hallway right now. That was earlier.
Okay.
Brynn would now draw her rapier and kind of just be making her way through this hallway, intently listening the entire way, specifically like towards the cargo hold.
Okay.
Here. And I would imagine when she gets about here, she actually does like duck in this door and is making her way still forward on the ship, but then towards the cargo hold.
All right. So Lido's going to be coming up the stairs at this moment. Give me another perception check.
Okay. Okay. Ugh, 21.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
That's not
okay.
good for me.
Brynn's used to rolling natural 20s.
That's true. I've
Okay.
gotten spoiled.
Lido joins you at the door.
Yeah.
And he's like, in that suave voice, "Did you find something? Is it in here?
I'm listening.
I-
And
I'll check
Brynn-
the other doors." And he runs down the corridor.
Great.
You smell that?
thanks, Ray.
Brynn is still like kind of making her way this way and just kind of slowly. Yeah, I like if I use my whole turn, I imagine I
Yep.
can at
You're
least
you're
get to
going through
other
the cargo
door.
hold.
Yeah.
Give me another
I would-
perception check, please. As you're
Okay.
looking around the cargo hold and
Come on.
Yep.
Do something. Be somebody. 21 again.
you hear a door
feel like-
open.
Oh. Where?
As you see the madam
Okay.
uh
There she is.
go into her room and close the door.
Fuck. Okay. My turn is over, right? Or is it?
More or less, we're not in initiative rounds, but what would you like to do?
I would like to get back out to her door.
Okay.
Do I have enough movement to open her door?
Yeah, you were like I said, you're going to be able to get to her room door. Yes, and
I would fling her door open.
it's locked.
Shit. So I'm in the hallway and just kind of
and you hear behind the door, "Hello."
Yes. Can you open the door, please? The security.
Security. Is that
That's what
Brynn
we are.
Elf with you?
No, it's
Say yes, that'll open the door.
Aviro. Yes, he's right behind me. We're all
Lido-
looking.
Just one moment, please. And Lido eventually comes with you. He's like, "What, Brynn, what is up?"
And I would like whisper to him and just be like in what is it called in this game? Secret speech.
Mm-hmm.
Secret speech. I would communicate to him that I think that she was the one who's been shutting doors and opening doors and running and trying to escape.
And he's like, "Okay." And a moment, and he's standing right there.
Message received.
Yep, message
Yep,
received.
yep.
And he's looking at it. It's like, okay. And he's like, and as he's kind of organizing, he waits there and he actually says, "Madam Camilla, please open the door. It's Captain Lido." It's just, yes, one moment. Yes. And about, less than a minute later, she kind of opens the door and she's kind of slowly kind of opens the door. And she's like, yes. How can I? Yes. What do you need?
We have a quick question for you. Have you been in your room all morning? Is it morning?
Yeah, it's still morning.
you been in your room all morning?
Well, and Leto's looking at her like he's giving her the look of like, you need to be truthful. This is not the time, and having Leto the captain there, she kind of looks at you for a second, Bryn, and then she looks at Leto, and then she's like looks back at you, Bryn, about like she wants to say no, and then as the word she kind of stops for a second, kind of looks down for a second. She's like, "I'm sorry, Captain. I have stepped out of my cabin this morning. The loud noise bothered me. Some large horn or thunderous loud spell woke me up and concerned me, and I went to look, to try to figure out what was happening, and I stumbled upon the four of you downstairs consulting the crew, and they did not look well.
Would you mind if I looked in your room, please?
Why would you want to look in my room?
Reasons?
And at this moment, the door to the alchemists opens up, and the head kind of sticks out, and it's like, and kind of like looking what's going on. And Leto's like, sorry for the intrusion. Go back to your rooms. We'll be fine. Just taking care of some matters. Apologize about the disruptions. Please.
Brynn has not taken her eyes off of this lady this whole time.
The alchemist door, Belle kind of and Boo kind of go back into the room, and Leto comes back. It's like, is that truly necessary, Captain? He's like, yes. We want to make sure everything. She's like, under protest, but fine.
Thank you.
What question?
Leto, real quick, would you do me a favor and run down and get my companions while I take a look around the room?
And it's like he stomps on the floorboard and on the base, and downstairs, as you're kind of looking around, suddenly this materialized being of Leto in this shimmering blue, and as the cape is like waving, like this breeze of illusionariness comes in, he's like,
help us, Glastoc and Aviro, here our only hope.
Glastoc, Aviro, come upstairs, you're needed. And then
all right, well, so that means Glastoc basically takes one look at Aviro and just books for the door. So,
Cool.
Wait for me.
oh no, you're gonna pass me. That's not well.
You're so fast. Glastoc is going as best as he can.
Well,
right? And Aviro's probably gonna come right up behind him and then just stay behind him the entire time.
Yes.
Kind of pushing him along.
So while they're on their way up, the madam opens the door. It's like, what are you looking for?
Thank you. And
what
Brynn
are you
would
looking for?
really.
I demand what are you looking for?
And Brynn would kind of be ignoring her and letting Leto smooth the way behind.
Yep.
And
they're having that conversation between them about, and he's smoothing about, this looks suspicious. We want to make sure that there's, and she's like, I never killed anyone. No.
How did you know people had been killed?
I saw them.
Says turning around. You said you didn't think they looked well. Did you know they were dead?
That was me being polite. It's clearly that somebody killed all of them if you're all being around. And she could, by standing there, was definitely able to see that they're dead,
Indeed.
So
and Brynn just keeps looking around.
What are you looking for?
Specifically,
Jay,
I'm looking for. Oh, go ahead.
Jay, it would take me at using stride for every single one of my actions. I could actually get to this point here.
Yeah, you're going to be up within a round. It's going to take you like 2 rounds to get there. Yeah.
12 seconds. That's
Which by this time, as the conversation is going, you get up there.
Brynn is looking specifically for any sign of blood, any clothing items that she may have changed out of, or any sign of a weapon or weapons.
Okay. Give me a perception check. And I'm going to give you +4 on your roll.
Hey, you.
Whoa. +4. Wow.
Well, that's going to help. That's a 32.
Holy shit.
There is nothing, no blood, no. I mean, she's changed clothes, but her room is
Oh,
very
recently.
not recently. I mean, she's still
Okay.
looks like she's kind of in her morning outfit. And there's no blood or tattered on her outfit. I mean, this is a very nice,
Does she really have to change clothes if she's kind of glamored? I mean,
yes.
I'm dead, don't have blood anyway.
right. Well,
Yes.
yeah,
But there's
that's
no
a good point.
decay. There's nothing here that makes it look like there's no dust. There's no garments from anything from the crew. Like I said, it's immaculate. I mean, there's very nice.
It's too perfect.
Not
Gotcha.
too perfect, but it's definitely
Almost.
like
Suspiciously clean and tidy.
not quite, but definitely
Okay.
she keeps things, nice. There's definitely some potions and things of that nature that she's been brewing. There's a book that she has. She's got a big, nice trundle trunk of just this immaculate large trunk of just
Is the book-
nice. Yep.
Is the book open to a certain page?
Yes, it is.
Could I look at that page, please?
It is the romance novel of
Oh.
a half orc and tiefling.
And
Hot.
it's open to a rather
hot.
saucy page.
Brynn is reading. It's like, oh my. And
And there might be a note of like, and under the book, there's just Aviro Starboard.
that's
Wow.
awesome. Well, so, Brynn gives this lady one last kind of like look
Mhm.
and one last sort of glance around the room. There is no sign. Have I looked in this trunk?
No, you haven't looked in the trunk, and she's like, if you make it, that's personal property.
This whole room's personal property.
Leto, I must protest. And Leto's giving her the one over too. And Leto's like, but then we're good here. And in the
What?
conversation, he's like, we're good here. Thank you for your cooperation, madam. I understand that the precedence of making sure that all of our guests are safe. Yes, there's an incident. I would wish you to keep this quiet to yourselves. And please don't sneak around. I know it was curious. I know that the noise was jostling, but please, it makes you look very suspicious. And she's like, oh, I was just looking to see. I had nothing to do with anything that happened down there. I'm very troubled by this as well.
So I have a question.
Yes.
I have an ability that I would like to use in a non-conventional way.
Yes. Let's hear it.
Depends kind of what.
I have a bonus feat called Charming Liar.
Mm-hmm.
As a charming liar, would I be able to detect as well when other people are lying? Would that
I
be
would
like,
open that up to yes. You could
Okay.
not necessarily detect but you would have a better chance if
like
someone
a +2 on a
has
perception, maybe?
yes, if they have the charming liar, because a charming liar can recognize like another charming
one?
lie. So I would rule and I would look at it like that. Those are the abilities. Yep, hit her in the face.
Oh, they're
He
just
wants
making
his
their
camera
presence
time.
known.
He wants his
Yeah,
camera
yeah.
time.
For sure. There we go. Cameo.
I would say yes, you would have the ability to do something along those lines. I'm not gonna have a roll because of everything that you've had so far.
Okay.
She's not lying. I'll tell you that much. There's a question if she might have the charming liar trait, or at least something socially equal to that.
But she's not lying.
But she is not lying.
Hmm.
You are 100%. And Leto has this ability too, which you know.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Leto
Oh,
is
yeah.
convinced she's not lying. And that's why he's also like, she's not lying. And that's why he's like, we're good here. And it was and he's like, he gives you that secret we're good here. She's not lying.
Yeah.
Let's talk outside.
Gotcha. Okay, so Bryn would nod and be like, "Thank you for your cooperation," and
Yes, thank you for being
head into the hallway.
delicate in the matter. And I will not say a word, but and then she kind of looks over and sees, and she perks up as she sees Aviro in the background.
Bryn would make eyes at Aviro and be like,
If Aviro even notices.
"Yeah, no, Aviro's oblivious. I'm trying my best."
And then Bryn, you leave, Leto leaves, and they shut the door, and you're all in the hallway.
Well, whatever.
At what point during Bryn's conversation with her did Glastoc get up there?
I would say probably when she was right before the right, like probably about 30 seconds to before they figured
Before
out
finished?
yeah, they finished.
Okay. So while Bryn is interrogating her, Glastoc would actually go into the cargo hold.
Okay.
Just to double check.
Because the door's open right now. So yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And you're just searching the cargo hold for anything?
Yeah.
Give me a perception check.
15.
15? Yeah, you're not finding anything out of the ordinary that you've seen before. So
okay.
But alrighty. So then Leto asks, like, why don't we go up to the kitchen? Because it's gonna be getting up to breakfast time soon, relatively.
Okay. So I follow Leto up, and I'm like, I was so sure. I heard her behind me as I was in the cargo hold, and then she ducked into a room so quickly. I'm sorry. I think I may have made a mistake.
No, yes, Aviro.
Aviro wants to cast Detect Magic.
Okay.
Ooh.
So here's what Detect Magic says. You can choose to ignore magic you're fully aware of. So while I am sure this whole damn ship is magic, I'm probably aware of what ongoing spells are wrapped into this thing. So I'm looking for things that are not normally running.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you're not seeing anything out of the ordinary that you would have seen before. So, like I said, the ship is definitely magical. There's no anything outside of the magic type situations. I mean, there's magic items on people, but
I'd probably be aware of those.
Yeah, you'd be aware of those
if they are things that they are normally carrying.
Yep. So
worth a try.
So while everybody's heading up to the dining hall, Glastoc's going to actually take his time going through the cargo hold, and so I'll come out that door at the end here.
Okay.
Just because I'm still wary of that one box that's in here. So
the large coffin or large crate looking. It's got a hole or two in it.
The definitely not a coffin box.
But yeah, definitely not a coffin. It's a coffin box.
Yeah,
so.
it's a coffin box. Yeah. It's still nailed shut. So
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And the several holes are present around it. So yeah, it still hasn't moved or anything like that.
All right. Well, like I said, he'll take his time going through the cargo hold, then he'll come out that door at the end, and then go up the stairs to dining hall.
So as Leto meets with you again, he's like, has a debriefing, so to speak, and he's just like, good eye, but then good eye. I'm confident that I could tell that the madam was scared, but she didn't have anything to do with the killing of the crew, which makes it even more difficult.
And because we spent so much time with her, whoever did do it is probably well hidden by now.
I mean, Aviro, you were very loud and shook the entire ship up with that announcement spell.
And your point.
Well, you attracted everyone to come down. Of course, she was being curious on what was going on, and we left all the doors open, so I can't blame her for looking in. So, but we will keep an eye on her for definitely. But I'm confident that she had nothing to do with my crew. We're definitely going to be thin with crew members. Being able the next 3 days, gonna have
I
to.
can help.
I may need your assistance during the day.
I can help.
I'm
Aviro's big and strong. He can help too, eh? And Bryn would whap him on the chest.
Ow.
the first mate and I will be taking double duties on this. We'll split up the skeleton crew, so to speak, and ensure. But your
So he admits they're skeletons. Oh no,
Yeah,
sorry.
you call them a skeleton crew all the time. That's very clever.
yes, I thought you might something I picked up in the far reaches of Neb. But yes. Thank you again for your services. I implore you to continue your investigations to see what else. But we truly do have a killer on board. They're not going to stop. I dread that they're not going to stop.
I look at Aviro and Glastoc and I'd be like, well, and I would ask Aviro specifically, whose turn is it to take watch tonight? What's the order?
I'm on first watch and Glastoc is on second.
It's my night to sleep. Well, that'll be fine. I'll sleep well after running this ship by myself, eh? Just about.
And I'm going to go talk to the first mate, and Leto leaves and goes and makes arrangements with splitting the crew up on being able to handle it and having the first mate.
I would say to Aviro and Glastoc, I'd be like, whatever did that is a powerful person, either physically or magically. I'm starting to suspect that it was one of the guests.
Well, obviously.
Oh, I think whoever's on watch, maybe redouble the route through the guest quarters tonight. Keep a closer eye on them, eh? I don't know what else we can do. We can't accuse them. God's forbid if we're wrong. She was pretty genial about it, but if we accuse the wrong person and they decide that we're the enemy, well, then we've made a very powerful enemy.
I have a thought.
Yes, go.
What if we just go through the motions of our rounds, and if we actually see something, we just don't do anything about it. And that way, if we get to our destination, then finally, then we're off the ship, and then we don't have to deal with it.
Then you're letting
anymore.
a killer on the loose, Aviro, and somebody innocent could get hurt.
Right.
Look me in the eye and tell me you'd be okay with that.
No.
Thank you. So that plan's out. Thank you for your contribution. Glastoc, do you have any ideas?
It's me. These are these are very targeted, and if the only reason to take out the crew is to either stop the ship or get back at Leto.
Interesting. Well, which one of these guests would have a beef with Leto?
Well, that's the problem, is we haven't established any kind of link between Leto and any of the guests.
Should we just ask him?
Well,
Yes, let's. Let's ask him his connection to all of these people, and then we can interview them as well. And Lido can use his captainly powers as to institute a security measure. We're going
Yeah.
to interview everyone, and that way we can gain some information.
I have a feeling that the groom, because I don't know what else to call him. I mean, I do know what to call him, but we're gonna stay NC-17 here. So,
I would call him exhausted.
well,
Probably, most likely. He needs a
Um,
Gatorade.
he probably stumbled across the person/thing that is going about this and is just a casualty of war, for lack of a
Wrong
better
place,
term.
wrong time.
Wrong place, wrong time. Yes. Um,
Hmm.
So to me, that eliminates his wife, and if we eliminate the hag, now we're just down to 2 sets of guests. I mean, that not counting the diseased woman that I helped.
Yeah. So it's the
It's either the vampire or it's the alchemist.
What if it's the little girl?
the little girl.
Well, we have no evidence one way or the other.
She's a little girl, Aviro.
But we don't have any proof that it's not her.
Jay?
Yes.
We just have to consider it.
Is there any passing resemblance between the little girl and Lido?
Oh my God! This is a Arthur Fleck situation.
Not that you can see.
Okay.
Good to know.
That is a very interesting inquiry. I like that. But no, there doesn't obviously, there's no obvious appearances of a connection.
Okay.
Hmm.
I think this would be beneath the Prince, Count, Duke, whatever you want to call him.
Blood Prince.
Okay.
Blood Prince of Schmaltmarsh.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. And we did find out that he's used this multiple times, right?
You did hear him say that he has used this transportation, has used Lido's
Lido said that too.
Dusk Till Dawn's transportation before.
Yeah.
Yes.
So my sneaky suspicion is it's the alchemist and the little girl, either one or the other or both.
Well, how about this? I can go talk to Lido before I get to work for the day. And you guys can, throughout the day today, talk to the guests.
I thought everybody was supposed to stay in their rooms except for meals.
Not us.
Yeah, but I think we can use that to our advantage.
How?
And Glastoc produces, he actually gave some of these to Aviro when we first started. It's these small, they're called thunderstones, and they do sonic damage when they hit something. And he hands a couple of them to Brynn, and he says, "Can you jury rig these around her door so that if the door opens, these fall and hit the floor?"
Yes. Yes, I can. I have a Pathfinder. Can I tweak that to make a little improvise? And I also have clever improviser.
Yes, I would say with those combining, creating a snare, you could probably create a trap. I would need a thievery. I think it would be a craft roll or a thievery roll to see how well you. What is your craft roll?
My craft roll is a 3. My thievery roll is a 14.
Yeah. So I would go because you're crafting something. I'd be more of a craft roll, but I would give you some pluses. What was your roll?
Well, I got a +3 on the die. It was a 7.
So 10.
But that makes a 10.
I would give you a +2, so about a 12. It's like one of them is okay. And are you doing them to all the rooms?
No, just hers.
Yeah,
okay.
And we would wait until after dinner.
Yeah. Okay.
To do this.
I would say.
Is there anybody we suspect more than the others? Wait, so whose door am I putting it on?
Alchemists.
The alchemist.
So you're gonna
Okay.
put
I wanna
eventually you're gonna
yeah.
put that on the alchemist door, and this is gonna be after what you're planning is after dinner, correct?
Yes.
Yes, Avero.
I need to go to sleep. However, when I awake, I would be willing to talk with the alchemist and her child, and then share a drink from this flask of fellowship, and maybe see if there's something I can get out.
Oh, look
Yes.
at this. Girl being
Knowing the
sneaky. I
game.
like
Out
it.
of curiosity, Avero, do you have alarm? The alarm spell.
I don't think the alarm spell is in this game.
Well, it
I
should.
think it is.
Alarm spell is a common, I think, in every system.
Oh, I do.
Okay.
But as I have not yet had a chance to prepare spells for the day, I do have it. It's in my spell book.
So you know that if I recall that alarm spell, you can place it on an area and be an audible or unaudible alarm. So if you wanted to place it on the outside of a door, you
That's
would
even
know when
better.
that door gets
Yeah. But
notified.
that's even better.
And that's a GM to player, because I know that's
Mhm.
Avero would have thought of that, but
Mhm.
Jeff may have missed that.
Mhm.
So that after you sleep and wake up for dinner, you could basically take that spell and then prepare it for the evening.
Mhm.
So that's the GM saying, player, look at your stuff, because this would be what I think Avero might consider, because how well he is. So take it with a grain of salt if you would like,
Yeah.
So-
That's fair.
because it is morning or afternoon and
Mhm.
evening. We're tired, so hey.
Yeah, Avero needs to get his because he had
Yep.
second shift.
Yep.
And
So it's still morning. So you have a plan for the evening after dinner, so which is good. We have Brynn's possible crafting. We have Avero's potential alarm spells to kind of help.
I would just go with the alarm spell, because doesn't rely on something physical. It's
Actual sound.
yeah.
So Brynn would hold up her little thing, and Glastoc would go, good. Like,
I could just cast alarm.
why the fuck didn't you say that before I did my wonderful master work?
Because I normally trust you to not produce shoddy goods. And he ducks.
Whoa.
Brynn's you haven't seen this look in Brynn's eyes since, like, for a while. Like maybe since we first got Aviro back and he gave her the little whap on the cheek. But her eyes kind of light that way again, and then just sort of she shakes it off. I'm like, well, all right, I suppose. Like, well, I'm gonna go talk to Lido. Then I have to get to work.
So breakfast.
Am I relieved? Am I relieved? May I go to sleep now,
Yes.
please?
Yes.
I'll chat with the alchemist and her child this afternoon. Good night. He
Good
trundles
morning.
off.
Avero goes to bed. Brynn's going to talk to Lido. It's breakfast time. So then the gong for breakfast hits, and then the alchemist, Boo, and the madam come up for breakfast. The bride eventually comes up towards the end of breakfast, just in her robe, her hair. She does not look like she has taken a shower, or she's just been crying. She's just very, very like disheveled in sorrow and in mourning. And she just grabs some food and she just kind of goes back to her room. It's a very unsettling sight of just this person just devastated, walking, grabbing food, and then just kind of leaving. Which audience, one of the things I forgot to remind you, we did say at the beginning, lines and veils, we have all gone through our lines and veils. There is going to be some triggering in the episodes. So if there is an issue, please feel free to leave. We don't want to harm you, but if you would like to stay, we're welcoming. But we are, as players and GM, we have gone through all of our safety tools and we are good. So just sharing all that information with our wonderful audience as we move forward. So breakfast happens, and no events. Everyone's the booze there. She's everyone's nervous. Everyone's very quiet. Um, Glastoc and Bryn, you're going to be able to see it. And then Bryn, what is she wanted to talk to Alito?
I did. So I would go up and I would say, so Lido, and is Lido like in a place where I can reasonably like just kind of chat with him
He's
and
on top
without
deck.
any
He's on the he's
Okay.
behind. So yeah, he's
So I would talk to him and I'd be like, so the more suspicious things happen, the more it kind of looks like, unfortunately, this might be targeted to try to harm you.
Eee.
Yes, think about it. So the other crimes, you're gonna have to remind me. There has
Mhm.
been other suspicious shit. The groom going missing, the crew getting killed, and then wasn't there like one more thing or
So
not?
far, that's it. Well, I mean, you did have
That's
the
it.
attack. So like several of the crew
Oh, yeah.
members went missing, but you
Yeah.
figured out that was the Sea Devils or the Sahagin
Mhm.
attack. That was a scouting
Okay.
party that came up, took the
It's
quartermaster,
unrelated.
took some of the crew members, and then the next night there was a full-fledged attack that you defended the ship on. Some
Sure.
more crew members got killed, and then based off of that, within the next 2 days, that's when the groom went missing, and then the next day, like I said, all the crew were systematically slain
Okay.
in a different. That's the other thing. They were systematically slain in a different manner. Like I
Each
said,
of them. Yeah.
each of them. So, like as I said just before, the one of them's neck was stabbed. The other one was neck was broken. One was you know sword through the or a blade through the head. Then it was the side. Then it was very very systematically of different ways of dispatching someone.
So Bren would just say, all of this is putting you out some money and time and labor and reputation, which I know matters a lot.
Yes.
And unfortunately, it's starting to look like maybe somebody has it out for you. Are there any of your guests or how do you know these people? How do they know to come to you?
Well,
Do you know any of them from before that you had this ship?
as I've not before I've had the ship. The prince is the gentleman has traveled with me once or twice before. I've commuted him back and forth. The other guests I have not. It's through connections and a connection vine that that I'm known that they come and they pay me a good amount of discreet to be able to transport them from location to location. There's a very specific set of rules that they all abide by. So, and then none of them are blacklisted. My understanding too is that they've all used this network of transportations before, not with me, but with other ones. So they've all been approved for transportation. So,
Have you had to blacklist anybody?
um, I've never had to
You've never.
blacklist anyone.
Is it possible that someone would be blacklisted from one of these ships that isn't yours and then somehow manage to, through an alias or something, sneak onto your ship
That's,
still?
I mean, it would be possible, but really, it's without revealing too much. It is a very comprehensive network. Um,
Mm.
it's a very specific network, and one does not just infiltrate it, I guess is the best way to put it. There's checks and balances to make sure that who they are, because of the nature of the commitment that they have, um to be a part of the service. There has to
Mm.
be there's a checks and balances, so to speak, and everyone knows that the specifics of the rules are there, that people don't break the rules, because there's I am just a humble contractor with this group.
Mm.
Um, this particular group that I'm an independent contractor with. If someone breaks the rules, they don't stick around. The organization makes sure they're not around anymore. to send a message. That has happened with someone has broke. We know that people have, or I should say, individuals have broken the rules before, and they were dealt with very swiftly and significantly. And the message was sent. No one should break the rules.
Is it possible that some of the people you currently transport knew those people or were friends or family with those people?
Possible, but I don't believe so. I can't fathom why.
Uh,
But like I said,
well,
I've never had to blacklist anyone. This was long ago too. But
of
well,
course.
so
Anyway, uh, you might want to keep one eye open.
oh, definitely,
Uh,
definitely.
I don't know if you've considered yourself threatened up until now, but I think it's safe to say that you are in danger.
I, I would say that is a healthy, healthy dose of reality, and that's what I have. I have my. I'm. I'm not afraid. I should be good, and I will sleep with one eye opened.
Good.
I appreciate your concern.
Well, think back if you happen to think of anything or any enemies or anything that you think of.
I
Let me
will.
know.
I will. Again, I'm glad your group is here. I appreciate that you've agreed to join us here. I know it's could be potentially unsettling, and well, I didn't think any of this would be happening. I thought it was be a smooth sailing from. So this is exciting too. But I think I'm glad that your group is here to. I think if you weren't, the things would be much different.
Oh, thank you for the money. And Bryn would make her way out and just kind of, she would get to work for the day. She's
Mhm.
actually like doing the ship type work.
Okay. Um, and breakfast happens. Everyone kind of goes back to the room. Bryn, you're working. Avero sleeping. Glastoc, what are you looking to do during the day before lunch?
Well, he probably can't help a whole lot, but Glastock can obviously, because of his strength, move things,
Mhm.
and there is some
Mhm.
of the shipboard duties.
Yep.
Either he can mimic based on what
Yep.
he sees Bryn doing, and
Mhm.
you know,
Help out here and there a little
right.
bit. That's as much. Perfect. Okay. Lunchtime comes, and the bell for lunch gets there. Avero's still sleeping. Bryn and
No, he'd be
Glastoc.
up by now.
Oh, you'd be
He,
up by now? Okay.
yeah,
Mhm.
because he had second shift, so you sleep the first
Okay.
4 hours, and then you do your 6 hour shift, and then you sleep for 4 hours, and then you.
Got it. Okay. The cruise happen, good. So you're able to um go down to have lunch,
Mhm.
and yeah, so again, it's very scarce of the individuals. It's pretty much the three of you. Eventually Boo and Belle, the alchemists, come up. They grab their lunch, and like I said, they're just quietly eating. They're like I said, they're scared. They seem to be issues. They kind of looking around. Occasionally there's a smile here at your group, and they're just kind of eating quietly in the corner. Um the bride doesn't come up, and the madam doesn't come up.
At all.
Nope.
Huh. Okay. Bryn makes a mental note of that. It wouldn't be super weird for the bride to not come up because she's,
Mhm.
impressive. And it's not super weird for the madam to come up because, like, I don't know, gotta keep her girlish figure. So, uh, yeah, I guess I just kind of make a note of it, but I just kind of go about my day still.
Okay.
At least me.
Lunch kind of happens. Everything kind of goes with that, and then actually, I needed a perception check from Bryn and Glastoc.
I do. 18.
14.
Okay. So yeah, during your work process, everything was good. Then lunch, and then afternoon, Brynn and Glastoc, you go back to working on the dock or on the ship, making doing what you can. Aviro, what are you going to do during the day?
Well, he'll slide on up to Brynn and Glastoc when they're working near each other and very quietly ask them, "Do you want me to talk to the alchemist and her daughter and see what I can find out?"
Yes.
What should I find out?
If they've stayed in their rooms like they're supposed to, you can take a peek inside their room. If they invite you in, look around for anything that's got blood on it, any weaponry, any
Have they made
changes
this
of
kind of trip before?
Yeah. Do they know Lido? Do they know of Lido?
All right.
And Glastoc casts guidance on Aviro.
Poof.
How long does that last?
Uh, not very long. So,
Yeah.
but
Hurry
here's
up.
the thing. Here's the thing. Aviro doesn't necessarily know that.
There you go.
True.
Yeah, he doesn't have any idea how divine
Exactly.
magic works.
So you got this, buddy.
So Aviro, you go down to the cabin.
Yes.
What do you do?
Yes. He stops in the kitchen first and asks for a tray and a few glasses.
He gets that. Yeah.
Ooh,
Okay.
put
And then he
together a
puts
little
his flask.
charcuterie board, or
Well, he puts his flask on the tray and he goes down and he knocks on the door of the alchemist and Boo.
And Belle, the alchemist, opens the door and she's like, "Yes, uh, Aviro, is it?
Yes. Hello. I'm
Yes. Can I
Aviro.
help you with something? Is something wrong?"
No, nothing is wrong. I've just been sent to check on all of the guests. I was wondering if I could come in. I've brought refreshments.
And you see Boo kind of holding on the leg of
Mhm.
Belle, kind of behind the door a little bit. Oh,
Mhm.
y- no, I prefer no one come in. It's private, and thank you for the offer. I appreciate it, but we're good right now. Is everything okay?
Oh yeah, yes, everything is and he's lying terribly. Yes, everything's just fine. Everything's great. If you're all right, then please remain in your room for the remainder of the voyage. You've
Okay.
remained in your room
Yeah.
since the
Yes, we
order.
have. It's been very tiring. I'm going to take a nap. So yes, we'll
Uh,
be in our room.
all right. Thank you. And he turns around, he scurries away.
Okay. And she kind of shuts the door
And he returns the tray and the glasses to the kitchen and he goes to Glastoc. It didn't work. And he turns around and he goes,
what do you mean it
And-
didn't work?
she wouldn't let me in.
Did you ask?
Yes.
All right.
All
And-
right, you've
and-
clearly done all you can do.
and
Well,
as
I guess Glastoc's thinking is like, well, it'd be stupid to try to send him down there again. And and then he's thinking, well, it'd be really suspicious if then I went down there to talk to them. So
Hey, so my partner doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
you had one job.
And
And-
she said no.
And as the afternoon happens and just before dinner, that is where we're going to end this episode. And we are going to pick up
Oh man.
next time with episode 7 of Awesomeness. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Thank you for watching now or later on the vlogs for Legends of the Natural Ones, our Pathfinder 2 campaign. Please, let's go around and introduce yourselves, who you are, where can we find you, and we are going to start with you, Jeff. How are you doing, sir?
Hello. in case you've forgotten, I'm Jeff, and I have played Aviro, and I'm doing grand. Yep.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Carrie.
I am Carrie. I am here. I am obviously, this is so fun. I'm so excited to see how this adventure concludes. You can also find me on Mini Terrain Domain, where I play on Monday nights. We play Scribes and Scrolls, which is now a Pathfinder 2e campaign as well. Every second Wednesday of the month, we play Call of Cthulhu. And then every Thursday, we play Kids on Bikes, which is also very fun. You can also find me on select Thursdays during the month on another channel called Dice Tales Live, where we play little 1 hour snippet sessions, which is super fun. And right now, actually, this month, never mind, it won't be this month by the time this airs. Check us out.
Thank you, Carrie. Jim,
Thank you.
how you doing, sir?
Good. So yeah, Jim, Hawkmare1 on Twitter, and obviously here playing with probably my favorite ETRPG group ever. I have so much fun with these guys. And then also here on the Emporium of the Wayward Gamer for our Shadowport Adventures game. I play Clicky, the gunslinger Jawa. That's on Saturdays. I forget it.
Yep.
Whatever. This is all pre-recorded, and I'm all screwed up, and it's barely 8 o'clock my time now. So,
That's
so
okay,
yeah,
Jim.
this is where you can find me. Oh, and maybe at a Ren Fair near you, you can find me at the Talon and Claw booth.
Yes,
Oh.
definitely. On the west coast of
Yes.
coastal lines of several states. So,
Yes.
hi everyone. I'm Jay, also known as Neofit3 on the socials. Thank you for joining us. I am your GM of fun. You can find me here for multiple games of Star Wars, Pirates. We've got a pirate campaign, Pathfinder 2e pirate campaign that's starting up soon. Additionally, there's some other games that we're hosting here on our channel of the Emporium for the Wayward Gamer. If you like what we're doing, please find us on the YouTube, the socials, and if you'd like to support what we're doing, and so that we can make more content, we have a Patreon. I think there's a Ko-fi somewhere too. Help us out if you'd like. If you'd like to support us, we greatly appreciate it. It is not required by any means, and we're just happy to create stories and share them. So thank you so much, everyone. We will see you again, and to leave you with, please be kind and don't be a jerk. Take care.
Bye.